It's not about motivation. Winners need discipline. Wake up and win today. Discipline comes from within.
Boxing King Media in association with Boxer, with me, a victorious trainer, coach, Shane McGuigan. Shane, said to you, Barry, just now as well, 2023 ended in a undefeated year. 2024 starts off the same way. Just assess what you saw with Adam Azim just now.
We actually lost, I think, in 2020. I think Robbie Davies was in. He might have been 2022, where he snapped his ankle. But no, it was a good year. But yeah, it started off with 2 victories. I didn't even realise it was the first fight of 2024. So yeah, two good wins. 2 slightly underwhelming wins in the sense like they can do more. Yeah, I know that they're capable of more, and but at the same time they didn't really put a foot wrong. So they won all rounds and they were more than in control. They just weren't tested from a matchmaking standpoint, and I think that'll come in time. And this is the experience that you need to get onto that, to keep stepping up.
I mean, everything that you've seen in the gym, that you've spoken about, you're so behind Adam. How much of that are we yet to see under those lights in the ring?
Not so much. I think, Paulson. As soon as Paulson got hit with a few jabs early on, he tried a little bit as the rounds. I think in about the 3rd or the 4th, he tried to press him a little bit, but I don't think you're going to see the best of Adam until he's really put under pressure, where someone's really trying to back him up, trying to wing shots at him, and that's when you're going to see him counterpunch. And he's a natural counterpuncher. He can go forward, but his best attribute is whenever he's walking people, not necessarily walking them on, but he's just using his speed. And as a counterpuncher, when you got that speed, it's frightening. So. Yeah, I mean, he was disappointed. He felt underwhelmed because obviously he just started to really grow into the fight. Paulson was very timid in that last round. Then obviously his shoulder came out, but he was timid just before it. And I think the ending was on, the writing was on the wall with the ending. I think he was a couple of minutes away from really stopping him and putting a big dent in him. But yeah, it was still good. Still happy with it.
Shane, obviously, when he fights here closer to home, there obviously is a lot more noise. Is that important for you as well? I know the plan is to make him a superstar, but fighting close to home, is that important for you as well, so he can attract as many fans as possible?
Definitely. He's still in the development stage. He's a European champion, and the thing is like back in the Naz days, back in the Amir Khan days, and like Hatton, and when my dad was around and stuff, like there wasn't as many good fighters. And right now we're flooded with them. We've got Buatsi, we've got AJ, you've got Fury, you've got all these amazing fighters, and like it's hard to really break through and make a name for yourself. And I think we're on a good platform. We're getting lots of eyeballs, and we need a little. It was frustrating because I wanted an eye-catching victory, and I think he would have got that in a few. Maybe a round or 2 later, he would have really got that finish where he would have knocked him out bad. And I think that's those are the telling fights that really get people that are just semi-fans to sort of be fully on the Adam Azim train. And I think we need a few more good performances, and we're just building his brand. But as you said, being close to Slough, being close in London, obviously West London as well, it's great. He needs that. He needs to keep building his name, and. But you just don't sell out 80,000 seats or those big stadiums overnight. It takes time.
In terms of opponents next now, how do you now take the next step? Every opponent that you select, you hope that they're going to bring something different for Adam to adapt and showcase his skill set. So now when you go back to the drawing board, I'm guessing you want to have him out maybe April time. How do you...
This is Ramadan. I think with Ramadan he's not going to be out till June, in May, June. So yeah, that's the date we're looking at. And I'd like someone that's, potentially been potentially been a European champion, potentially fought for a world title or something like that, or even doesn't have to be a European fighter, it can be an American fighter, someone with a bit of experience. And I think it's we need a few more acid tests with people that have a name and have the experience, and that's someone like Jack Cattrall just got that with Linares. I think we need those sort of experience and those tests. But as I said, he's or like Dalton Smith's getting it with Zepeda, and I think we're going to maybe another fight or the next fight. That's when we're going to get someone like that.
Caroline Dubois, she's very vocal on Twitter. I think everyone loves that about her. On Friday, we saw her being quite aggressive or in the weigh-in with her opponent, aggressive, and we saw a side of Caroline that we haven't seen before. But obviously, she has that built inside her. How do you match her? Because she's just blowing everybody away.
Yeah, I think with tonight, I mean, that girl, once again, that girl felt the power, and she was very tough, very, very tough. I mean, Caroline, you've seen her in her last two performances where both of those girls haven't been stopped and they both haven't been dropped, and she hit them with that right hook and she dropped both of them, whereas tonight she didn't drop the opponent. So that just shows how tough that girl is. But it also, she won every round, was more than in control. Same thing with Caroline. She just needs to be tested. I think she's further on in the development with her career because there's less depth within the female division. So she's knocking on the door of the world title. I think she's going to fight for one of the belts, one of the major 4 belts in the next fight, and that's when she's going to have a breakout fight. And I think there's a couple of really good tests out there for her, and she's going to have to overcome a couple of good tests, and they're going to be in the same position as she is in that young sort of up and coming. You got a lot of former world champions, like you got Michaela May, you got people like Jonas, you got Katie Taylor that are just at the end of their career. I'm not sure they'll give Caroline the satisfaction of beating them and taking that name off them. So I think Caroline's going to have to pave her way with the young developing talent like herself.
Could I ask you, obviously yesterday news broke Tyson Fury, I'm sure you saw the video, the images, being an ex-fighter yourself, albeit a short career, but a trainer with many fighters. What is that cut? What does it do? How long do you now have to stay out? Obviously, I'm not sure if you've seen today, but they've advised of a rescheduled date of May 18th. But is that the time frame? Is that significant?
It looked quite a deep cut. It happens in fighters, especially when they're late on in their career. Scar tissue, you pick up that scar tissue, and I mean, you've seen with Tyson Fury. I think it was against the Otto Wallen fight where his eye was really, really bad. A bit like Crispin Smith, that eye's opened up a few times in his last few fights. Ricky Hatton used to tend to cut. I mean, Chris is 33, Tyson Fury's 35. And that scar tissue ends up, your skin gets less supple with age as well, and unfortunately these things happen. It was very disappointing. I'm sure not, for us as fans, of course, but for the fighters that have spent all that time training. I know whenever fights have fallen through with injuries, and it's such a sickening feeling. But yeah, hopefully they can get it rescheduled. May seemed quite close, especially the depth of that cut. It looked quite deep. It wasn't above the eye, so it's to the side of the eye. But yeah, let's hope they can get it rescheduled.
Derek Chisora said to me that he now favours Usyk with that fight being announced with only 3.5 months. Obviously, out those 3.5 months, Fury won't be able to take any headshots for a significant period of time as well. So he favours Usyk. What's your opinion? I'm not sure who you picked initially, but has that changed?
I said originally that I think the fight is very, very close. It's going to be in the balance. I think it'd be 7-5 one way or the other. And I've always thought that Fury would have that knack of sort of nicking around here and there, but obviously Usyk's got that as well. He's fantastic at it, but with his size and his physical attributes, I think he'll be able to impose himself, and he's got that ability to adapt, and the size. But obviously that last fight against Ngannou didn't look good. I'm not sure he trained much for it. I also just think physically, with Ngannou's physical attributes, very strong, very athletic, very tough, and punch with Tyson Fury a lot. And it's always going to be hard to look good against that. It's a raw style, isn't it? So Usyk's more polished. Once again, it's in the balance. I've heard rumours that Fury's not looked the best in this camp, but they're smart guys. They're always putting out little feelers to try and offset people. So you can never really tell about that. So once again, it's a fascinating fight. I don't think it will live up to a great fight. I don't think it's going to be one of them ones where we're going to walk away from it and feel oh my God, we just witnessed a Holyfield versus like Riddick Bowe or anything like that. It's going to be one of those fights where it's going to be a chess match, and it will be you'll be scratching your head after the fight thinking you really won that one. But draws the eyeballs, draws the attention, and that's what we want for boxing.
Finally, it's an early night, early finish for you. Gonna jump on the road and put some miles in like you do every day that I've been seeing on your Instagram story, Shane?
No, yeah, I've got 16 miles tomorrow, one of my last long runs, so yeah. Just
I mean, you're going to do this marathon, you're not going to then blow back up in weight, are you?
No. I'm going to try and
maintain the six-pack.
Yeah, I'll try it, but I think I've got a little. Look, I'm enjoying it. So as long as it lasts, in terms of the enjoyment, I'm going to dedicate some time towards it. Then the next goal after this, I'm going to try and break 3 hours of the marathon. After that, I'm going to try and break 17 minutes in the 5K before the end of the year. That's the plan.
All the best with that, and yeah, lucky I'm not running 60 miles tomorrow.
I'm just. It's good because I keep them on their toes all the times. They keep bringing them in, and Adam's a really good runner. He's going, oh, they're really fast times, So we're going to both enter the big half in September. So I've got to beat him on that one. Yeah.
Shane, thank you for your time as always. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and yeah, we'll catch up with you very soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Fear. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and their opinions of others.